Hey everyone, I have 5 books that I highly recommend. I have only completed, I believe, 2 out of the 5 that I decided to read thus far. I try to read these particular books during fall and spooky season. So I'm gonna share them with you, and if you like them, go on and make that purchase. First book is called Hidden Pictures by Jason Rukula. Sorry if I butcher the name, but I love this book. Now, I don't want to spoil it by anyone. It said that it had a review from Stephen King that said, I loved it. This book was amazing. I don't know what I was technically expecting when I got this book, but oh my gosh. This is a must read. Within this book, there's like pictures of drawings from a child that I will explain. I'm just gonna read. Fresh out of rehab, Mallory Quinn takes a job in an affluent suburb of Springbrook, New Jersey as a babysitter for Ted and Caroline Maxwell. She is to look after their 5-year-old son, Teddy. Mallory immediately loves this new job. She lives in the Maxwell's pool house, goes on nightly runs, and has the stability she craves. And she sincerely bonds with Teddy, a sweet, shy boy who is never without his sketchbook and pencil. His drawings are the usual fare: trees, rabbits, balloons. But one day, he draws something different: a man in a forest dragging a woman's lifeless body. Ooh. As the days pass, Teddy's artwork becomes more sinister and his stick figures evolve into more complex, lifelike sketches well beyond the ability of a 5-year-old. Mallory begins to suspect these are glimpses of unsolved murder from long ago, perhaps relayed by a supernatural force lingering in the forest behind the Maxwell's house. With help from a handsome landscaper and an eccentric neighbor, Mallory sets out to decipher the images and save Teddy, while coming to terms with a tragedy in her own past before it is too late. This book has so many twists and turns. I couldn't even believe what happened. It sounds basic, like, oh, a child is drawing something or acting out, or maybe it could just be supernatural, but it's way beyond that. It is a big plot twist that I wasn't even expecting. So I don't want to get into too many details about this. Yes, this is a must read. And when they're talking about the pictures, it's like your normal pictures that a child would draw, like the little stick figures like they said. These pictures become so detailed, like a full-blown artist. Like, we're talking about shading, we're talking about the lighting. Must read. Must read. I got this book off of Amazon, and I don't think I paid much. Even though it says it's $27.99, I'm pretty sure I paid maybe $14. Nothing too ridiculous. This is a must. And I don't know if they have a soft copy, but this is the hard copy. I just like how it feels. I do have other books that are not hard copy, they're soft copy, because I wasn't gonna pay almost an arm and a leg just for a book with a hard copy. Like, I don't really have a preference as of yet. The next book that I have read was called Scritch Scratch. Now, this book is more of like kind of a high school kind of book. It's not as advanced, but it is right up my spooky alley. Claire has absolutely no interest in the paranormal. She's a scientist, which is why she can't think of anything worse than having to help her dad on one of his ghost-themed Chicago bus tours. Every place they go gives her the creeps. She thinks she made it through when she sees a boy with a sad face and dark eyes sitting silently among the other passengers. There's something off about his presence, especially because when she checks at the end of the tour, he's gone. Claire tries to brush it off. She must be imagining things, letting her dad's ghost stories get the best of her. But then the scratching starts. Voices whispers to her in the dark. The number 396 appears everywhere she turns, and the boy with the dark eyes start following her. Claire is being haunted. The boy from the bus wants something, and Claire needs to find out what before it is too late. I like this book, which I didn't think I was going to, because the only thing that I heard was, oh, it's like more of a high school read. But that really did not matter. It still gave me chills. I wanted to figure out who this boy was. And it was actually kind of a really sad story of who this boy revealed to be. And I couldn't believe, like, it was just so sad. Oh my gosh. I wouldn't say this was only a paranormal kind of book. This is also a mystery book, because I wouldn't say it was kind of a crime. It was an unintentional killing, is how I'm going to put it. Again, I don't want to reveal too much of this book, but I got this book from Amazon, and it says on here $7.99, which I'm pretty sure it was $7.99. So the other 3 books out of the 5 are books that I started reading. I have The Haunting of Hill House. Now, I started watching the, I believe, Netflix series of this book, but I didn't finish it. And the Netflix series was pretty serious. So I wanted to actually read what was in the book, because I wanted to see if the book was better than the Netflix series. Thus far, the book is pretty great. The Haunting of Hill House. 4 seekers have arrived at the rambling old pile known as Hill House. Dr. Montaz and an occult scholar looking for solid evidence of psychic paranormal. Theo, his lovely and light-hearted assistant. Luke, the adventurous future inheritor of the estate. And Eleanor, a friendless, fragile young woman with a dark past. As they began to cope with chilling, even horrifying occurrences beyond their control or understanding, they could not possibly know what lies ahead. For Hill House is gathering its powers, and soon it will choose one of them to make its own. Thus far, what I am reading, it is very vivid. I know the first 2 chapters is very wordy. It's kind of one of those books that kind of like talk in riddles. At first it was kind of hard to keep my attention, because again, I have my child, and then I'm trying to find, alone time to sit and even like read this book. So when I finally started paying attention to what was going on and gathering that, look at this apron, I cannot. When I started gathering what was going on, it actually caught my attention, and I just kept going. I recommend this book because based on the Netflix series, it was amazing. And thus far, what I am reading, it is an audience grabber. The 4th book is called Clown in the Cornfield. This is supposed to be a scary book, and it goes, Quinn Maybrook just wants to make it to graduation, but she might not make it to the morning. When Quinn and her father moved to a tiny town with a weird clown for a mascot, they were looking for a fresh start. But ever since the town's only factory shut down, Kettle Springs has been cracked in half. Most of the town believes that the kids are to blame, after all the juniors and seniors at Kettle Springs High are the ones who threw the party where Arthur Hill's daughter died. Oh yeah, I do remember that. That was terrible. They're the ones who set the abandoned factory on fire, who spend all their time posting pranks on YouTube. They have no respect and no idea what it means to work hard. For the kids, it's the other way around. And now Kettle Springs is caught in a constant battle between old and new, tradition and progress. It's a fight that looks like it will destroy the town until one homicidal clown with a pork pie hat and a red nose decides to end it for good. Because if your opponent's all dead, you win the debate by default. That is crazy. So, I just started reading this book. Yeah, the daughter died. Pretty gruesome. I would never do any of these kind of things as a high schooler. Like, these people are very daring and there is no way. Again, I can't go into too much details of what goes on in this book. This is a good read. You must read this. I also got this from Amazon and I do not believe it was $10.99. It says $10.99, but I don't think I got it as that price. It was much lower. The last book that I would like to share is called The Marlow Murder Club. Reviewers said Agatha Christie with a modern twist is how they describe this book. So the book goes, Judith Potts is 77 years old and blissfully happy. She lives on her own in a faded mansion just outside Marlow. There's no man in her life to tell her what to do and how much whiskey to drink. And to keep herself busy, she sets crosswords for the national newspaper. One evening, while out swimming in the Thames, Judith witnesses a brutal murder. The local police don't believe her story, so she decides to investigate for herself and is soon joined in her quest by Susie, a salt of the earth dog walker, and Bex, the prim of proper wife of the local vicar. Together, they are the Marlow Murder Club. When another body turns up, they realize they have a real-life serial killer on their hands, and the puzzle they set out to solve has become a trap from which they might never escape. I like this thus far because it's witty. I wasn't expecting her to be doing as much adventurous things in here, I believe solely because of her age. But, you know, again, you can't judge a book by its cover. Isn't that what they say? This was a nice book. I haven't finished this book yet, but I'm very eager to see what happens next. Again, highly recommend it. Like, look at the crossword puzzle. Look at the detail. If you all have any books that I should read or check out, please comment below. I'm very eager to see your comments. I, thus far, am on this venture to start reading books when it comes to spooky or paranormal activities or mysteries when it's like fall time. I can read any other time and read any general books, but I specifically want to reserve these spooky kind of genres or horror when it is fall and when it is Halloween. It just puts me in the mood. I already smell the pumpkin and the vanilla and the cinnamon. I want to be immersed with the cool weather, with my, hot cocoa and my pumpkin mug. I want to be immersed in the full effect of fall season. So, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Again, please comment below any recommendations. And until next time, y'all have a good one.